SMF, MMTs. We talked about how Apple has come down. We talked about shorting that one in pre-market too. We talked about it, and we know that that's what's happening into the market. So they gapped that market up on better than expected GDP numbers at 1.7 and took that and then decided to gap the market. But every single day, this is the 8th day in a row of sliding that bid down to the bottom. So it's all about getting the short trade at price failure. And I talked about a ratio gap this morning in pre-market and what ratio gaps were when we were looking at the gap open and the gap down list. Go back to those videos. Go back to your pre-market on 9:30 this morning when you have time. And we talked about, I was going to teach you more about the mathematical ratio gap short sell, because everyone was piling in on the gap bar, and that when we slid half of that bar, as I said, every day for 8 days in a row, as we've been going through this topping pattern, is that we come down here, we get made right here. This is where we've been getting made, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 minutes, right here at that teeny line. That each line is 24 pennies in the brain. Now, when we look over here, let's take a look at the brain reading. There it is right now. That bid and ask ratio's got to go a certain way. Let's take a look at the teenies right now. We have a current trend ratio that equals 51 pennies. You had 11.4 teenies up, and that was 2.63 on Apple. So therefore, we got to make sure that these are reading correctly, and that current trend ratio right now is 0.67. We got teeny action being made here with Ken Flagg. We told him we had to go north of 15 and that we wanted to see spikes between 5 and 15 to confirm this intraday action off that bottom, selling short down, buying long off the bottom. So you make money on the short that way, and now we're trying to get paid going back up. So they got to walk that dog off that bottom. There's a 3-6 in play. I've got to close above half of that bar. That's 287. That's 287.88 MMTs. MMTs. As long as I'm closing above half day bar right there. I took that one out. It's time. Here it is right there. MMTs. That's what I'm talking about. Now let's make sure that you got that bid. That bid. I told you that bid. That bid. That half bar bid, here's your level 2. You're printing at 6 pennies. That's that upside move. That's how bottoms get put in. Remember, you sell short here, but now we're buying up off of here. What a nice trade. That's that 3, 6, 9, 12 breakout. I'm challenging that high. I'm breaking above half of that bar there. This was the buy bar right there. When I came up, I've come up. Now I need to see this run north of 25, and this is how a bottom action is put in right now, 7:44 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. MMTs, you're doing quite well. And people that are watching the video, just understand one thing. One of the things about price action, I got diverted there, I'm sorry, is that this is live. So, you know, if it's your first time watching one of our live entries and exits, and you hear, wow, what's that guy doing? Look, when you're right in the middle of the trade, you're buying here, you're using the SMF platform, a lot of emotions run through people. And basically all SMF MMTs learn how to buy bottom price action. They sold short up here. At falls, they made their money. But now they're trying to go this way. They already made their money that way. So this bottom gets put in for that breakout. Right here on the tape, when this failed above 15, we went down to 0 right over here. That 3-minute bar brought it right down to the next price floor right here, to that teeny. And because this is at 0, people are selling into that move. But until now, that's what happens. That's why the stop market orders have to be kept. Because when you failed over here. You failed over here. It was clear up there at one point, almost going to run to 25, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, when you see that resistance top came down, and when this changed, that's why he brought it down to this price level. So now we're going to get ready to make another entry because we're still on this intraday low. We're going to watch that intraday range. We're going to watch our gauge and our trend ratio here. If this thing keeps going negative 0.45 and 6, then that means that this price level is going to come down more. So when this started going the wrong way, that's when you have the bigger drop. And here is your alerts. Right there, it was made at 7. Now you're popping back to 12. So basically what he did, you filled that teeny, and he walked it down 2 teenies. And a teeny is 24 cents, so he took it down 48 teenies, and now they're trying to make a market right there. As we put in another entry, which we'll start entering some more shares in here, and watching this intraday range break back up. So that's the low of the day right now, and we're buying at the secondary low of the day. The first low was here. That's the second low, and this intraday range has got to work the right way. That current trend ratio has to go into positive territory. Otherwise, we're going to come down and test lower teenies. And it's that simple. That's why we haven't taken an entry yet down in here. So we're kind of waiting to let it set itself up and let it prove itself. Once again, people, SMF, you got to pop here to hold that price. That's that second low of the day. The other thing, though, the current trend ratio has got to go into green and go up in value. If you keep going negative trend ratio, current ratio going in the negative, you're going to come down and break the prices. So as long as this is happening, we're not going to actually take the entry. Yeah, we're building that teeny support, but it's weak. It needs to show some strength in there. There you go. Once you get that thing into positive territory, this has got to go in your favor to get made at this very price level. It's 0.1 green. Now it's back to negative 0.02. And that's why you're throttling. This needs to change before the entry is made. As we get above 20, and that's what we were looking for to confirm that double teeny bottom. So he came down 1 teeny, 24 cents here. And he made it, and now you got to go above 25 here. This is what we were talking about, the big spike there. Now look at the current trend ratio is positive. And I made it very clear that you buy the bottom when this is positive. It was negative 0.4, not much, when the bottom was made. Now, this goes higher, this goes higher. And this here, you need to see it continue to go higher in order to hold it. You're going to watch half of that bar. And this is what I was talking about, and that was that turn. But this needs to keep going the right way. And you can take a look at it. That's your bid and ask trend ratio, 4/7. You want to see this side going up in value. You want an ascending in value. And if that ascends in value, which is this right here, and you go up toward 10, but when you get to 13, it's going to be a positive delta. So basically, 1/8 negative delta was 287.37. That's what the text alert is telling me. Okay? And if I can stay above 15 and spike to 30, I am going to be doing good. I can't fail like I did at that teeny. If I do, I'm just going to come back down to that teeny support.